What's going on, everybody? This is Travis from Tradewithtravis and Carter Capital, helping you fight for your financial freedom throughout the Forex market. This is a night episode of Trade with Travis. We end up having some good trading opportunities today, and we end up talking about a lot of this stuff earlier this morning and along the week as the market actually end up starting to make its move and start to be able to build out that consolidation zone. This is something that this is the day that we end up playing out for and everything else like that. So I am kind of curious to be able to see how well everybody did. If you are watching live, you have been watching the streams and everything else like that for a while now. My question to you is, how well did you do today when it came down to trading? I'm going to be honest with you. I went big fish hunting. We always love going up the vortex areas and trying to find those large channels. We end up planning out everything. And I end up catching some wins, but ultimately, I end up getting caught up in that first move of how the market actually ended up starting a U-turn. I'm going to talk about that, and then ultimately what ended up happening right after that, when I had other stuff to be able to do, the market actually ended up going down to complete the full movement of that area. So, like I said, didn't get all of it. I wish I did. I wish I was actually in front of the computer during that particular point in time, so I can be able to re-enter on one of the trades that I ended up getting in, or pretty much all of the trades that I was in. But we will talk about that. Stop short my silver. Hey man, I'm gonna sit up there and try to make money as much as I can in any ways that I can. Today gave me a big realization, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Steve, because you done been watching us for a while. I'm a teacher, and I'm a teacher at a local high school, and I've been doing that for about 8 years now. Today was probably the first day that I truly just said, "Hey, um, I am losing money being here." And at this particular point, I have to do everything that I particularly can to be able uh, to ensure that I stay away from, or I put myself into a position to where I can be able to trade 100% full time. And that's the overall goal. I think pretty much a lot of people that are on TradingView have that goal, but I've seen too many different positions that, quite frankly, and especially like over the summer. This summer was the best summer I've ever had trading. But essentially, I truly do believe if I was not inside of the classroom, if I was not doing what I had to be able to do at this particular point in time, I probably would have 4x my account today. I probably would have made 4 times my account based off of those. I'm just teasing you about short and silver. I know. It's always good being able to talk to you. Glad that you're here, like always. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not a CTA, so I'm not going to tell you whether to buy or sell. What I'm going to do is teach you education, and from that education, you can be able to make your own informed decision. Now, understand that trading involves risk. It involves risk of being able to make money, also involves risk of being able to lose money. So please keep that in mind. And understand that past performance is uh, not indicative of future results. So, like always, make sure that you end up playing your trade, trading your plan correctly, and having fun while you're being able to do it. So, let's talk about what ended up happening. We've been looking for this day for a while. We ended up talking about ultimately what the game plan that we're going to do in the morning session. And simply put, that plan was wait 15 minutes to be able to see how the market was going to end up moving within its action, and then after that, make your decision after that movement end up happening. Uh, I got in a little bit. I got in a little bit too fast. Well, not even a little bit too fast. I got in at the right point. I started to get very eager because I knew what was probably going to end up happening. When you end up seeing that the market started off at 2.5, the last time that we ended up doing an interest rate statement, and they wanted to be able to push it up 75 basis points, then you knew that the market had no choice but to be able to fall. And it was probably priced in when it came down to that movement. The question was, can you hold out on that first initial wave? Um, and your stop loss not get hit, or your account or get kind of scared because your account size or whatever may be the case. And that's exactly what ended up happening today. It's the same thing that ended up happening when the market dropped down 1,500 points the last time. Anytime that we end up talking about the vortex strategy, we always know that there's a chance that the market could pop back up into the consolidation zone. You just got to be ready to be able to replace that trade back in and fire it again when it's time to be able to make that move. So, with that being said, let's talk about what we end up happening. I mainly traded US 30 today. Let me tell you what I ended up doing from an overall standpoint, how the market actually ended up playing out today. So, uh, yesterday, let's kind of give you a precursor. Got into the trade when the market ended up falling down to the downside, but I also knew that because we were looking at a position to where this market was probably going to end up, um, yeah, off right here. Um, we knew that the market was probably going to end up starting to drop just because of the basis points and everything else that was kind of placed in with it. I really felt like if I could be able to catch a sale right around the overall resistance at 30,009, I think I got 30,930, the trades that I ended up getting. If I could be able to get it right there, and if I end up placing my stop loss above 3,100, then I would be okay. And that was the overall game plan. That's exactly what ended up happening with most of my trades. To be able to hedge myself, I actually ended up placing in a buy trade right at the top, going after this small little pocket area that was going on from there. What's going on, Brian? Uh, man, Brian, do you mind? Do you mind if I end up talking about our conversation? Do you mind if I open up to people about our conversation? I won't say it if you don't want me to say it, but uh, if you mind, if you allow me to, I go ahead and say what ended up happening. But while the market ended up making this movement to the upside, my thought process was that we know that we got a chance that the market was going to end up falling down. Go ahead, great. So literally, I ended up calling Brian. I want to say probably about an hour before the market actually ended up getting into this position. I knew that obviously I was getting kind of nervous about the position, not necessarily nervous because of not knowing what the direction was going to be, nervous about what type of move was going to end up happening at first. And I ended up saying, hey, I've been in this trade. I waited for the market to be able to get up here right around 30,940 and 30,930. I ended up taking those trades to the upside, and I knew that if the market ended up holding off, I had a pretty good chance of being able to go after, um, which was 29,840. I really do feel like the market is still going to end up moving down that way. Obviously, we can see that the market is at 30,030 at this particular point. But I was like, if that does happen, we're talking about over 1,000 point move in literally a day for its overall movement. So I wanted to make sure that I end up pulling my stop loss a little bit higher. But once again, I'm a teacher, so I was actually I was going to pick up my son from an early dismissal, um, and we ended up going. But essentially, what ended up happening was this: I ended up having two orders that ended up being at the support level, which is at 30,500. Literally, right when the market actually ended up giving out that news, we ended up getting that first big shock, that 300 points. Uh, end up making profit on two of the trades right then and there, right when the market ended up popping off. Super excited about that move, but just like anything else, the market ended up hovering around this overall area. Went down to 440, ended up placing in a couple more trades, um, end up getting out at 30,700 when the market actually ended up popping out. Let me explain how. I'm working off of my phone when this happens, and I can see my computers on my phone. But essentially, what ended up happening from there was that the computer freeze while I was trying to do it on my phone. So it went from being at 497, and then after that, literally within a 5 minute span, it ended up going up to 700. So the other few pairs, I ended up getting wiped out. I ended up getting some wins, but mainly break evens. Well, not break even, mainly trail stop wins when that ended up happening. So I'm kind of upset about that. And literally, I did not re-enter, and I did not pay attention to when the market fell down to the downside again because I was helping out family members. In which over the summertime, I'm typically here and I'm just trading. But went back inside of that vortex area, just like what we end up thinking. Market currently at this particular point has failed down about 500 points of that movement that we end up thinking of to the downside. Once again, really not fighting with anybody. That's the whole purpose of this overall strategy. You want to get in. You want to get in right at the ledge of the overall point where people can be able to make money off of it. And sometimes you have to get back. Sometimes you have to get out and get back in based off of if it ends up popping back up. But eventually, when it does happen, it will fall. And that's exactly what ended up happening right here. So if you end up taking that trade, place in a money sign. If you want to talk about the profit that you end up making off of it, that's great. I was trying to go big fish hunting and trying to get all 1,000 points of this overall movement. I got 500 of it. So not necessarily mad, but I wish I could have got way more based off of this one. But if you end up making a big move off of this one, type in that, click on that money sign and type in or say how much you end up winning or whatever may be the case. But nice, a good move on that one. So same deal, same thing ended up happening with Nas. Now, I did the same thought process. I figured that since the market was going to end up being in consolidation, there was no reason for me to um, there was no reason for me not to be aggressive on this one. Ended up taking a couple sales at 11,900. Actually, ended up taking some buys at 11,910 as well, expecting that the market was going to go to 11,990, which was that previous area where we ended up taking a buy right around here. Um, Essentially, what ended up happening, market ended up having that big shot drop, fell right at the support, took profit on a couple of the trades. Market quickly bounced back up, and then after that, had that big run, and it ended up breaking above one of my last trades. So, uh, kind of mad about that move. But overall, man, with the market really went right back up to the last vortex edge, and you can be able to see it. It hit a high volume node or hit a medium volume node from that previous consolidation that we looked at on the 15th, and then as soon as that ended up happening, people start shorting it right then and there, and market ended up falling from the top of the consolidation to that point, which was 300 points, and then obviously where we're at right now, which is another 500. So hopefully you'll be up right around 200 to 300 points if you're still in. Take profit on this one is still expected to be 11,003, I think 11,380. So if you're still in, let that joker ride. I don't foresee any moment at this particular point where people will be trying to get in for being able to buy until this market actually ends up hitting this support level. And if you look at that support level, the area where we thought it was going to end up going would end up being basically the bottom of the previous consolidation or the large consolidation that started off the summer. So I still do expect that the market will fall down to that point, and then after that, it end up making a decision. If it really falls below that, then quite frankly, we got clear selling all the way down to 91.82. Now it may be very bad for big business and everything else like that, but if you know how to take advantage of it, then it's very lucrative for you if you can be able to do it. Literally, we know that the market breaks below the ledge of 10,910, or basically 10,900, then it can get very ugly if the market ends up falling from that level. So have a pending order already set up for that one, but yeah, it can really get ugly if it does that. But great, nice, Brian. Good to know you end up making 500 off of that. Hopefully, I can be able to say that I was somewhat of assistance when it came down to that. But knowing your mind and knowing the way that you end up trading, I know you end up finding me in a great order off of that one. So congratulations to you. Uh, at some point in time when I end up opening up the Discord to everybody, I got a winner circle area. Make sure you end up popping in and giving a screenshot to that. You don't have to put the amount, but it showed a screenshot of the actual trade that you end up taking. Once again, congratulations. So last one that we ended up taking, uh, that one was all me. Hey man, come on now. I want to give you. That's all you, man. You don't want to end up taking that trade. I can talk about it, but you ultimately got to sit up there and pull the trigger. Congratulations to you. Uh, so same deal. This one didn't give us that like true resistance point, but it actually when it pushed up to the upside, it went legitimately right at the resistance that we end up showing right around the 17th or the 19th of that overall movement. From there, when they end up rejecting off, legitimately, I just had to trade to the downside. What's going on, Casey? Hope everything's going well with you. Um, Another OG in the building. Um, End up taking a trade at 12,520. Take profit. It's at 12,450. Literally about to hit take profit on that one, I believe, which would be cool. Add on some more. Definitely need some rainy day funds when it comes down to this movement. But we're super close to the take profit point. I think we almost touched it when it came down to that. If it kind of goes right back up, then I might just go ahead and pull it. I don't like when candlesticks do this. When you end up having that big break and you end up seeing that the buyers end up kind of pushing it off right there, that tells me that something fishy is going to end up happening. Matter of fact, I'm just going to go ahead and take profit on that one. I'll go ahead and end that one off right now. Okay, so bam, there we go. DAX is done as well. DAX is done. NAS 100 still has a little ways to go, but it's getting close to being done. So if there is some type of an upside move, then you might have a chance of being able to get in. But about 70 points away, you can still make something out of that. US 30 still has about another 200 points away for its overall movement. I'm just gonna ride this one out. I'm down on my last small entry, so just gonna see how it plays out. I wish it hits. I really wish it hits that take profit point and then bounces right back up, just to be able to prove how strong this system is, um, or how strong the strategy is. But we end up going from there. So Casey, let's see what you got. AU end up taking an entry at 65.20. Brian, that's another one for you. Let's see what he got. 65.20 with a stop loss of 0.39 or 0.6669 with a price target of 65 to 1 risk reward ratio. Let's see what you got. Da, da, da. Yeah, I know. I don't know if you took it, but I know we've had a lot of conversations about it. So here we go. Essentially, what ended up happening was this: market ended up retracing from the 618. Currently, right now, it ended up hitting the D extension of 6620. So you're trying to see 6520. You got a pending order that is about to be hit at 6520, going after 60. Oh, you looking at buying? Am I saying it right? Let's see. Interest 6520. 6520. Hey, what's going on, Roger? I hope everything's going well. She did take it. Nice. Hey man, a family that trades together stays together. Let's see. Terry, what's going on? I hope everything's going well with you. Terry, how well you do today? Let's see. 65. Oh, 6669. Okay, that's stop loss. There we go. There we go. Which ones did you end up trading today? We end up doing US 30 NAS and we end up doing DAX. End up catching all of them from the Vortex strategy. Uh, let's see. Price target 65.53. Okay. Hold on. 65.53. Casey, answer this question. Are you trying to buy? Or are you trying to sell at this particular point? You're saying entry with a stop loss of 6669 with a take profit 6520. I'm guessing your entry is right here. So your numbers are kind of off. Do your numbers again. If I'm going based off what you end up saying, entry at 6520. Uh, Stop loss 0.396. Okay. All right. Okay. I think let's see. Oh, short entry at 6620. Okay. All right. Short entry is 6620. Take profit at 65.53, which means that your stop loss was at 66.69. Okay. Now, okay. That makes more sense. Let's see. So you caught it right when the market ended up doing that quick little retest, and once it ended up breaking that support, you end up taking the trade. You end up taking the trade from there. Hell of an entry, I will say that. Um, take profit. The daily take profit has already done been hit. So what I will end up doing just more than anything else like that, just keep your trail running, and just kind of let it play itself out. Um, like I end up saying, I always pay attention to the 15 minutes, see how the 15 minutes going to end up doing. If it gives me a counter trend line break that I got to be a little bit more cautious about, then I look at being able to exit possibly a little bit earlier based off of that. But based off of your stop loss, and based off of how slow the Australian dollar or the AU actually moves, you may be okay, even if there's a slight retracement um, when it comes down to this movement. But me personally, what I end up doing is, since I'm already in it, I already know that I'm making profit. As soon as it pops up, I go ahead and exit. Look forward to be able to give me another movement, hopefully right beside or basically retesting that 66.20 area. And then after that, look at being able to catch it one more time if that does happen as a continuation trade. Yeah, I'll basically end up looking at it from there. Let's see. Go to the weekly on AU, and you'll see the channel is approaching at the bottom of the channel. Okay, let's see. Um, I wouldn't call this as much as a channel, more than a wedge. I'll probably call it more of a wedge. Um, go clear the screen real quick. That's a falling wedge in my mind. Well, no. It's converging down at the bottom if I'm looking at it like this. And it's not a rising wedge, it'll be a falling wedge. Um, I'm seeing something like that. And if that is the case, um, a falling wedge is kind of like a spring. Obviously, once the spring ends up getting pulled up and tightened up, then after that, typically end up having a big break to the outside. So if it remains to use this bottom line as the natural support and then starts pushing back up, then we probably may see in the next few weeks. You probably may end up seeing in the next few weeks that the market may do something like that, squeeze tight, and then after that have a big pop up to the upside. But it's going to take a little bit of time based off of what I'm looking at to be able to do that. So whenever that's going to will end up being the case. But yeah, that's more of a wedge than a channel. But I like it though. That'll definitely kind of perk my ears up when it comes down to that movement. Like I said, but it's going to probably take a little bit of time for that to be able to fully happen based off of that. Um, let's see. Terry said he got GU, and then after that he ended up shorting DAX. We ended up talking about the pound and how close it was to being able to hit the D extension. And obviously, because this rate hike news from a forex perspective ended up making the United States dollar strong from a stock perspective and an index perspective, it ended up making a lot of those pairs weak. So that wasn't surprising that this market actually ended up doing that. We talked about from the 15-minute being able to catch it when the market ended up breaking out of this consolidation, in which it did, gave a little bit of consolidation or gave a continuation move from there, breakout, retest, end up getting that move, and then after that, strong break to the downside. So, United States dollar's been kicking ass this year, legitimately. Uh, it kind of reminds me of what was it, 20? It kind of reminds me of what 2018, I believe, when the dollar was so strong. From now, it's like 2018 and 2019, and then after that, uh, obviously the beginning of 2020, it started to look strong, and then after that, everything happened with the pandemic. Then after that, you could truly see how much it actually retraced over the course of 2 years. So good trade, Terry, when it came down to that one. Always good being able to talk about that. Like I said, with with the Discord channel that I'm going to end up pushing out, almost done with it. Legitimately, almost done with it. Been talking about it for a week now, but uh, there's going to be an area called the Winner Circle, and I definitely want everybody that's on these streams and talking about this and going through those trades that we end up doing to be able to post out your post out your wins. Everybody deserves to be celebrated. Everybody deserves to be celebrated. It's hard trading. I really do. I really do believe that sometimes. But let's see. I don't have anything else. So I'm gonna open up the floor for any questions of potential moves that may end up happening. Obviously, most of these moves are pretty much done. But if there's anything that somebody sees out of the blue that they may be interested in being able to take a look at, go ahead and type it in the chat box real quick. If there's nothing, then we'll go ahead and call it early, and then obviously tomorrow what's probably going to end up happening is we're probably not going to end up having that much of a trading opportunity. So I wouldn't necessarily look at being able to jump in anything unless you're already in. Um, and then after that, we'll start to see how the market kind of start building out the next consolidation block. Yeah. So go say that one more time. If y'all got a pair that y'all like to be able to me to be able to take a look at, go ahead and place it inside of the chat box. If y'all do not, we'll go from there. Let's see. What do you think of UJ? When you send UJ, okay. Let's see. Da, 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 da. I don't think I did this one. We talked about gold, but we didn't talk about what was happening. You know, gold obviously has a correlation to that. So weekly, the extension already hit at 142. Some people are looking at being able to short because of the market ended up breaking outside, or the market ended up finishing the weekly D extension. Me personally, when a weekly D extension happens, I stop trading the pair. But I do know that there's going to end up being a retracement at some point in time. And what ended up happening today, simply put, was that the market um, broke out of a counter trend line break and now started to push back up to the resistance. So ultimately, if we go based off of the weekly, we go based off of the daily, we're saying that the market is bullish. Um, and if we're saying that the market is bullish, now we're just going back up to a point to where uh, you may end up having a lot of diminishing returns. So me personally, one, because the market in my mind is in consolidation, and two, because I think the best play in my mind would be to actually look at being able to short it right at the resistance point again, or looking at being able to short it right at the resistance point right here. And when it gets back up there, what is that? Let me see what that number is. Right around 145. Um, I think that's the best play. But do I think it's going to end up turning around and happen tomorrow or sometime soon? We got about 70 pips away, or it's about 70 pips away from being able to do it. But I don't know. I wouldn't do anything now with it, Terry, to be honest, at this particular point. But if it does, if there is a play, it will be, let's see if the market will hold inside of this consolidation again, and then after that, get out at the halfway point, because now we're hitting the third portion of this move, or the third time that it's basically going to hit this overall resistance level. So resistance at 145, support is at 141.60. So right around 143 ish is where I would look at taking a sell down and then trying to get out from there. But nah. So just to recap, we talked about this trade since literally we started this trade on uh, the 19th, for the market ended up bouncing above this overall level. We ended up saying that we wanted to get in at 30,580. Stop loss was at 30,690. The first time that it ended up happening, when we got placed inside of the trade, it got pushed right back up, turned into a quick loss. And then after that, look at being able to take a sell to the downside from there. When that happened, uh, it places us back inside of the trade. If you end up taking the trade at 30,550, that second time, you would have got grace with those overall points. I still believe that the market has a chance of being able to hit full take profit at 29,840. Gonna take a little bit of time because I think the market's going to retrace a little bit. But then after that, I think it should keep on moving from there. But we end up doing that. Let's talk about Nas 100. Nas 100 went down. It still has a take profit level of 11,370. Currently, the market's at 11,502. Market when we got into the sale was at 11,700. 200 points with this market basically U-turning. I would look at being able to get out of that one and wait for a U-turn on that one. That's the move is over with, is completely over with at this particular point. Congratulations to everybody did that. And we want to talk about oil. Let's talk about oil, and that'll be the last trade of the day for that movement. I got kicked out of gold. Yeah, I got kicked out of gold this morning as well. And quite frankly, it might be another trade on gold right now. But literally, it popped back up, and I don't know. It looks like gold is probably going to end up staying inside of this consolidation zone again. Good night. Uh, let's go. Oil. So trade plan on this one was at 83.31. Market has broken out of it since then. End up pushing up to 84. Currently right now the market is at 83.06. Take profit that we're looking at being able to get out will be at 77.11. Um, from a 15-minute perspective, the market is basically doing a retest of this overall movement. If I was anybody at this particular point, I don't know if y'all noticed, but the market is making a consolidation inside of another consolidation right here. Uh, so I would do two things. One, see if the market can be able to hold at 84. If it can hold at 84, then I'll look at being able to, uh, I'll look at either shortening it at 84 and then after that taking it down to 77, or waiting for the market to be able to go back down to the vortex area or that ledge, and look at being able to make a trade right around 82.50. 82.50 would be the new area of being able to get in, force that sale, taking it to the downside. So Raja, hopefully that helped you out when it comes down to this one, because I think that this one may still have a chance. From an economic calendar standpoint, what is going on with the Canadian dollar tomorrow? Let's see. Um, Oh, we got interest rate decisions from Japan in about an hour and a half. So that's going to affect Terry. That's going to affect U.S. yen. That's going to affect gold. It also will affect the Australian dollar. So may end up paying attention to those. Uh, that makes me want to go take a look at that gold trade again. Let's see. Tomorrow it's going to end up being an interest rate decision from the pound. Um, that may end up causing the start off for that overall move. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see. SPY. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got for SPY. Then we'll go from there. What move are we talking about? The one I just talked about? Are we talking about for oil? Or y'all just talking about oil? Okay. Uh, 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 let's see. Oh, okay. There we go. So last time we ended up taking a look at a move on SPY Casey, it was right around 389. The market went from 389 all the way down to finally hitting that take profit at 379.60. Uh, I'm mad that I didn't even take this trade. Good night. I called this trade out. When was this? Um, I had to call that trade out on the 8th. Yeah, I didn't even place that one in. Heck, I would have won on the buy and the sell. Look at that. Oh man, that is, dropping the church's money over here. What's going on? Legitimately caught both of those. Okay, all right, whatever. Um, so let's see. Entry at 376. Um, Casey, just in the near future, do me a favor. When you end up writing what your currency is, say what type of direction you're going with first. So to say short entry or buy entry, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to be able to look at that and kind of do it a little bit faster. Uh, my mind's on a little bit of an overload right now. The let's see, 376, 87. Let's see, 376.87. Casey, did you bring up that spy trade um, that we ended up talking about before? Did you bring up this one? Because I know I didn't look at. I know it's been a while since I looked at SPY. I don't because I don't necessarily trade stocks. I just trade indexes. Well, indexes, gold, metals, and everything else. Well, gold and everything else. Uh, I wonder who brought that up to me. That might have been you, Casey. I don't know. Let's see. Take profit at 371. I got a box right here, so that means that there's some consolidation that's somewhere close to there. Um, we'll see what that's all about. Okay, so why do I have this box? What is this box? It's got to go from previous history. Okay, I don't know why I have that box. Okay, leave that alone. All right, so essentially, market is pushing down. It's almost about to be in an R3 position when the market breaks below 362. If it breaks below 362, then it could fall all the way down to 300 at some point in time because the retracement ended up being at the 618 or 423. So you're saying that you want to be able to catch the market uh, at 376.87, which will end up being basically the overall, somewhat close to the overall support lows of this area right here. That might be where the box actually came from. And if that makes sense, then if I'm looking at this correct, I can almost tell you what dates it was. It had to be June. It was June 6th to like let's see when the market breakout of those overall areas. It was like July 17th. Let's see, July 14th. There we go. Okay, so you're doing the same thing with Spider as I'm doing with US 30, where end up taking the trade, and now you're looking at being able to get to the bottom of that support level for which you'll take profit as a potential large scale move or potential large scale move, which is down here based off of that. I believe that it has a chance. I really do believe that it has a chance. Now, obviously, the one thing that I always worry about when you end up having these big moves that end up happening this week and the thing that ended up happening a couple weeks ago, typically when you have a big move, especially if the bulls are ready to get back into it, you will see a big flash turnaround and retracement. And currently, right now, that has not happened yet. So I hope that it doesn't happen when the market actually hits the support, and then after that starts trying to pop up, and that will be the retracement zone and take you out of the trade off of that. So just like with anything, just like with the vortex strategy in general, if it pops right back into consolidation early, I would say exit first, and then after that re-enter, and then if it comes back down, then after that take that shot from there. But I would like to see how the market kind of plays out on that one. Good luck to you on that one. Uh, I'm kind of mad about the buy and the sell trade at this particular point because you could have hit both of them on that one, but I think I might have got that with US 30, and now it's 100 based off of that movement. Last one, let's see. We ended up checking oil. We ended up checking SPY. Brian said he had it. Okay, we'll make this the last one. I have my own Euro IC for daily bullish movement. Okay, let's see. I said 11 o'clock. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about right here, but let's see. Euro IZ. I need to take these contacts out. Let's see. Weekly perspective, market broke a long-term outer trend, fell down to the downside. Last time I ended up taking a look at it from a weekly perspective, I guess I was looking at a counter trend line break to be able to happen based off of this movement. Market has done a couple things. One, it went, the long-term weekly D extension is expected to be at 1.37, 1.37. Currently, right now, the market ended up doing a double bottom off this movement. So at this particular point, I would say that is your consolidation that you have to pay attention to. We are in the middle of consolidation, and if we're in the middle of consolidation, Brian, you know my rule when it comes down to that. I'm not trading that joker. I'm not interested in being able to make a move until it actually ends up breaking out of there. So currently, right now, that's where we're at. So I would not look at being able to take a position until the market breaks below 143 or breaks above 153. Now, I know that's a lot of movement. It is a lot of movement, but the breakouts of those movements are a lot better than staying in there fight with everybody. I'm gonna watch duty on this one. Okay, so if you're gonna end up playing it, I'll probably use strategy 4, which is basically obviously looking at selling the resistance of it. Because the market's already done hit 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do 2 things. One, you can split the orders and your percentage on that trade. First trade goes down to the halfway point. Second trade goes down to the end. You have enough to be able to do it with 3 trades. It'll be first one goes to the halfway point, second one to the end, third one to the take profit location down at the bottom. Okay. Well, actually, it'll be it's a 80-20 rule. So somewhere around 138. But it's going to take a little bit of time to be able to make that move. Yeah, hit point of control to be able to pop up. The only thing I like point of control for is truly being able to know where most people are going to be fighting at, or where the stop loss should be. I stopped paying attention to point of control because when I was looking at it, I just thought that the point of control was just an area to where once the market ends up falling down from the area, you know that the market is basically bearish. When it pushes up, you know the market's basically bullish. But there's so many other tools that you can be able to use that will still be able to give you that thought process without you having to just focus in on one line, like the VWAP and stuff like that. So there's a move on this one, but it's going to take a little bit of time to be able to get there, and we end up going from there. So I'm going to call it on this one. What we end up doing, we should have did about 40-some minutes. Did we do 40-some minutes? There we go. Did 44 minutes. Hopefully everybody learned something. Hopefully everybody made some money today. If you did, congratulations. We ended up taking it took a little while for us to be able to get that. But hopefully this win, and compared to what you end up doing on the 15th, should have basically made up all the money that you end up losing, if you end up losing any for this month. So like always, click on that boost button. Make sure that everybody ends up seeing it. Obviously, keep on rocking with us. We're 600 strong now when it comes down to that, on the road to 1,000. And like always, if you want to be able to hop inside of one of our free webinars where we end up talking about how you can be able to learn how to be able to do the Vortex strategy and everything else that goes along with it, our automation systems, being able to take a look at those and being able to take advantage of those opportunities with the FX Striker and everything else like that, uh, and being able to join the Discord group that we're going to end up bringing up. All you got to do is just send me a private message, and I end up sending you some more information with that. But it's always good to be able to talk to each and every one of y'all. A lot of familiar faces. It's always good to be able to do that. And like always, plan your trade your plan. Everyone, y'all have a good one.